careful the light that you have in your eyes. If the light you have in your eyes is darkness, then the darkness that is in you is too dark. The way I see things is quite different. It's according to the light that I have in my eyes. So, if you have got a person that has been failing in life, the way he will look at you is from the point of his failures. And sometimes you think it's wisdom, but it's telling you according to where he's coming from. He's actually estimating you from his place of operation. And he thinks everyone fails. There are certain things you don't need to consult. You just need to do it. Because you will never have amen from anybody. I don't know if you're getting what I'm telling you. So do not think everybody uses, just because he has got two eyes, everybody sees things in the same way. We don't see things in the same way. Throughout my life, my struggle has been to convince people to get the picture I see. And I came to realize, I came to a place, this is the place of my conclusion. I told you, a leader listens. But good leaders do sometimes take a decision which may be very unpopular, which leads people to a place, and they only realize that your decision was right when it happens, not when you're saying it. Throughout the scriptures you see that. As much as you listen and do what everyone is telling you, if you're a good leader, you should be able to carry decisions that you believe in yourself. The decisions that you believe in yourself, or rather that is based on what you see. Because there will come a time that you will take a step of your life and nobody will actually follow you. Because not everyone actually sees the way you're seeing it. That's what makes you a good leader. That you can't take a step and you see everybody is afraid to jump with you. Don't try to condemn anyone because he's failing to jump with you. Accept that you are a leader and they are followers. You will take a step and nobody is going to support you. They only follow you when they see the safety and success of your decision that you have taken. This is true with your own life. True in your houses. True everywhere. You will live with your wife, you live with your husband. Do not ever think just because you stay in the same house, you know each other very well. He still has doubts over you. And as long as you don't take leadership over yourself, you will be stuck by his estimation in life. There is an entrepreneur in you that can change the prosperity in your house. But your husband doesn't believe. Your wife doesn't believe. Every time you try to put it on the table, although you say, it's just like he said, no, he has already concluded, he said no. She's not listening at all. Because that's the way she sees you. That's the way he sees you. And it doesn't appreciate and understand that you see yourself differently from what everybody sees you when you close your eyes. So the fact that everybody comes to you and say, sir, we have to do this, never. I can tell you by example how many decisions I've taken in this ministry that many people didn't like them. If I never stood on those decisions, the ministry could not have progressed. I also know of other leaders that have taken such kind of decisions. The good thing is, if you are a leader and another person is doing the same, you can appreciate it faster. Oh yes, very fast you can know. You may also be freaking out like, what is he doing? What is he doing? But because you have also done that sometime, you actually pave way and say, maybe he's doing what I've ever done in my life. But now if you're meeting someone else who has never been a leader in his life, he simply says, that's wrong, wrong, wrong. No, wait a minute. Maybe all of you are wrong. And that one man is right. The things of the Spirit is not about majority. Start taking leadership over yourself. Sometimes it's not when everyone else agrees with you. It's just what you see. So we'll come there. We'll come there. We'll come there. That's why I said there's a lot there. There's a lot there. They all went there. Caleb saw it in a different way. The rest of the group saw it in a different way. In fact, majority saw it from a negative point. There's only one man that says it's possible. It's possible. His eyes see things differently. We'll come on that point, but that's not the point for tonight. We'll come on that point. That's why I was like, my goodness, that's a very powerful point there. And Caleb stood with the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. Now, I want you to see, because I'm dealing with your eyes fixing on your destiny, because you know yourself very well. So I'm trying to connect how the destiny comes into clear view when you know yourself. That's what I'm going to teach you today. How your destiny becomes in a clear view when you know yourself. The people that don't know themselves, they will never know where they're going. They get stuck in any step of life, they think they have achieved it. Unless there is a good understanding of who you are. Do you know that if you know the anointing that is on your life is too much, you can tell that where I am today, although what I'm doing is already bigger, but I haven't exhausted even 10% of my capacity. How many of you can tell like that? Can you tell like that? That I know what I'm doing is already amazing. It's an achievement. It's something big in the eyes of many people. But what I know about myself is not even 10% of who I am. It's only people that they've got a better understanding of themselves, that destiny becomes is always in a good, clear view. They can tell, if I'm going to exhaust everything that is in this man, this world will change. This family will change. Because what I'm doing now is nothing. It's nothing. I haven't given even 10% of what I have in me. My tank is still full. It's not all. I can't say I'm spent person. I've just started. These are people that, if they are pastors, they will fill up the stadium. But they will tell you, this is just preliminary. These are just the beginning. The beginning of our lives. We haven't done it all. To another man, that is the end of you. You have done it all in your life. To you, you can tell, I've just started. There is much, much more. Much, much more. And the biggest problem with the black people, I don't know why, it's this which I'm telling you now. So we live in a day. We just live in a moment. We are very good people living in a moment. We don't have a future. Living in a moment we are the best. We just want everybody else to clap hands. We just want everything to end today. If you want to have fun, to be extravagant, to spend as if tomorrow will never come, meet a black man. A black man lives in a day, doesn't care what comes tomorrow. Because majority, they don't have a clear view of the future in relation with what they have, in relation with who they are. Ninkani mava, so many people get stuck. Anachita bwino kwambiri in this life. They have lost everything. How? How can a man get 300 million US dollars? You can't even put it in kwacha. 300 million, earning 300 million US dollars in a space of 7 years. And you squander it in the next 3 years. And you're borrowing, you are broke. It's a big problem. We can give so many examples. It's a very, very big problem. Very, very big problem of black people. They don't see far. The white, it's not a good statement, but the white person from apartheid in South Africa said about the black people, he says, you know what? Give them women, talking about men, give them women, give them money to buy clothes, and give them beer. A black man's life is over. He says he doesn't live a big life. His life is He says if you see a black man working, he's working for his wife. He's working for him to drink and to buy clothes. That's why white people know about us very well. Do you know what they do? They do a ring. 1 million US dollars. 740 million Malawi kwacha. Do you know who is going to buy it? A black man. Put it here. He's not satisfied. He will go and buy another one. It's a black man that started a fashion that you should put rings all 5. 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. Can you see the foolishness? 1 million, 1 million rings all over like this. A black man. One black man I know in America, there is a certain car, the most expensive car in the world. It's worth about 2 point something million. Some go up to even 3 million, 3.5 million US dollars. The most expensive. He has got 3. He wants to drive a car that cruise, that take off, that start off, not take off like it's a plane, that start off 100 or 200 kilometers per hour in 5 seconds. Yet there is no road that allows him to drive at that speed. He's driving in a road that has got speed limit of 120. You want a car that cruises up to 200. Where are you going to drive it? So you want at least to try it, and you accumulate tickets. And says, I'm not satisfied. I'm buying another one. You have no clear view of your life destination. What you have to accomplish in life. Where you're going to end. The Bible says a righteous man leaves inheritance. To who? To his children. He dies loaded. After establishing big companies that his children cannot even I mean, it's not just enough for his children. Zizukuru paka na zizukuru simaza kala nao zolo nao mchuma chake. A righteous man. Imagine you are a righteous man. Later to inheritance to your children's children. You have 2 kids or 3 kids that you have also trained them to be righteous people. While you are leaving wealth to them and to their children, they also leave wealth to themselves and their children and his children. In the 3rd generation of your family, how rich are you going to be? How rich are you going to be? But the transfer, you find somewhere, it is not, they're all fools. They finish everything. We have a chance, my brothers and sisters, to let the word of God become real in our time. Let people read the scriptures through us. Let us become the living epistle. A living epistle. Let's live light and see the word of God working in our lives in that way. It's possible. It's possible. Some of you are still young. Don't make a mistake. Don't get caught up on the way. Let your destination be clear to you. What you have just started off. That's where I'm going to end. Now, I'll tell you, we are going to learn one or couple of things as we go. Now, let me just finish up to the very end, because we have got a lot to talk today. If you get stuck here and never go home, the place is open. Oh, yes. Do you know sometimes the Lord speaks to you and you really get angry? Very, very angry. That you don't want to go home. You just want to spend in his presence and continue praying. But the men that went up with him said, we are not able to go against these people. They are stronger than I. Why are you talking like that? This is the reason why you have gone through for 40 years in wilderness. Why are you missing last point? That tells you, whilst they were in the wilderness, they knew Canaan in a clear view. Why? Imagine this is what you have been working for. This is the whole reason why you have been doing everything else. This is the whole reason why you have been praying. You have fasted and prayed is because of this. You make a mistake at the last hour. You don't understand. It means even when you were just starting, you never had a clear view of the last thing that should happen. What is it? Why am I doing what I'm doing? To achieve what? Then you come close, you lose it. You lose it. It happens in life. It happens in ministry. It happens in church. It happens in all what you're doing in your career. Everything else. You forget the reason why you have been going to for this reason. The whole reason why you have been trying to do ABCD is for this reason. You're close to it. You forget. You make the mistake at the last minute. You keep losing in life. You keep losing in life. How can you be so close to your destination? And then you don't see it as an opportunity. You don't get fired up. I said, this is all what we've been planning for. During the Kamzubanda time, we used to do rallies at the Kamzubanda. Act as if Kamzubanda is there, is in the stadium. Then we'll finish it. A day before, they could have made us sit down and they could tell us, Amatipangistanda pioneer, all what we have been doing for 3 months, guys, is for tomorrow. Is for tomorrow. You don't make a mistake. We are all for this day. Many people that don't see the destination, they don't really account the gains and losses in their lives very well. Oh yes, I'm telling you. Because they don't know that it's not just the day that you have missed. It's all the 3 months you have been training. It's everywhere. I'll give you a very practical one because some of you don't know how to apply things. We do meetings here. When we are doing a meeting here, we don't just plan like today, we do it tomorrow. It's on a calendar. Sometimes we start prayers 3, 4, 5 months way ahead of the time. Praise team will come and practice so many nights. We'll put in so much of our money into it. When you really don't have a destination in the clear view, you will miss the last day of the meeting. I should put it in a heavier way. You become a fool on the last day of a meeting because you cannot calculate the costs. To you, it's just a day. It's not a day. 3 months down the line have gone into drain. This day is like exam day. A day that has made you to wake up in the middle of the night to study. You don't say, well, watenga pobe na kujonjo. Kuti ichi siji kugira bunu basitenga kujenanga. No. This is the end of it. Everything else that you've been doing is about this day. Why did you lose the picture? Of exactly where you are going. Why? If you see, excellency is the expression of wisdom. Excellence is not, you have to look at excellence as an expression of wisdom. A man without wisdom will never be excellent. No matter how much you push him. Excellence is not the training. It's not a result of the training. It's as a result of wisdom. Wisdom expresses itself in excellency. It should make you feel mad. Mad. Failing to go home and sleep. Because you have, the mistake has cost you 2 months. Are you following what I'm saying? That's what you see. Now, let's leave it a little bit there because I'm going to get I may get caught up. Let me just put some things, then we can give you the points and do it much, much better. Go to Hebrews chapter 12. No, before that, I want you just to see the little big problem with these people. One, they are missing a destination. 40 years in the wilderness is going to go down the drain because of one mistake they are about to make. And look at the mistake they had. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search, it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of the great searcher. 33, the last one. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants. And we were in our own. We were in our own, not in their own, but in our own sight as grasshoppers. Have you seen it? And because they saw themselves as grasshoppers, they assume the sons of Anak also are looking at them in that way. And they said, and we were in their sight. Who told them? Who said that you are grasshoppers? Nobody. It is their own picture. And they are trying to apply it and put it in the eyes of others. Haven't you made the same mistake? Kuyangana ngati mena kundiyang'anira akundida iyayi kudako kuli mkati mwa iwe sana nene kena kali kose muntu yeyayi iwe ndamene kuzinda weka sumazikonda weka kusazikonda kwako kuona ngati aliyesa akakuyang'ana sakukukondaso yeyayi. Nobody ever said sindikukonda. Who said it? It starts with your own. Your own. This is the picture you need to change first. How do you see yourself? It's what has determined all other things that you do in life. The picture you see yourself. Who do you see yourself? Ukasi anthu akuuza zolakwika because kwa anthu ena munthu wa mulungu mwina ndi amene amavala suit. Iwo kaulibe suit akuuza kuti iwe sindiwe munthu wa mulungu. Are you getting this? Koma kunenaso zimenezo kuchokera monga mwa light imene iri m'maso mwawo. So do not start from how people are telling you or what people are telling you. Start from what you know yourself. The good point that you shouldn't forget is that when God was calling me, there was no one. I was alone. There's a reason why he called me by myself. Just when I was alone. He knew calling me in the cloud. Sinakapitira kutali. And the person didn't take her. He found you by yourself. Now let's go to Hebrews chapter 12. Let's read 1 and 2. And build up and show you all these things that will help you. How many of you are running? Are you running? Can you see that we are destroying some things in you? And you will be unstoppable in life. That's what the Lord and the Spirit of the Lord is doing in you. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight. We should lay aside what? Every what? Weight. Can you say weight? Weight. Look at how they're describing that word. It says, let us lay aside every weight and the sin, which what? Do so easily beset us. There is a weight. And it says, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. But as you're learning, keep on laying aside words. Because if you're not laying them aside, they will slow down your pace. They are not necessary for your destination, but they are words of your race. You pick them on the way and be able to realize these are simple words. What do you do if you know this is a word of my life? You lay it aside and keep learning. Unfortunately, we carry them. We don't lay them aside. Why did you drop Antwamandinena? It was a word. You were supposed to lay it aside. You thought you would make it from here to the end without Antwamandinena? You are too picky. You are picking a lot. This boss doesn't like me. He may be a weight. Why do you want to resign? I'm tired. I'm tired of how this man addresses me. I'm tired how this man addresses me. Wait a minute. Why is he addressing you like that? It's because Lucifer is using him as the adversary. And if you don't see clearly, you will be moved from your path. Find yourself in a place you are not supposed to be, just because you couldn't know what to do with the weight of life. If you had known this is a weight of life, you lay it aside. Okay, let me show you something before I really get serious with you guys, because this point has to come clear to many of you. Don't slow. Don't get distracted. Don't slow. Boyfriend. Sanali boyfriend. Wait. Tonight, if there is any weight that is slowing you down, you will not leave here. You are not going to get out of that door. Any weight is left in this place. We are now on a fast lane. I want you to understand that the Holy Ghost is speaking you and putting you on a fast lane. There is no speed limit. He is allowing you to cruise as you may want. Oh yes. You realize the things that have slowed you down on the way, that is making you now to lose the picture of where you're going. Now you're busy discussing the words. Every time you will sit down with people, the discussion is not about your destiny. The discussion is about the things you pitch. Taona ni zimena kundinena. Taona ni zimene sikuchitika ndini. Taona ni zimono. Where is that time you were so happy with where you were going? Can you remember those days that you were so happy? Destination. Now, a discussion is the weight of your life. No, don't do that to yourself. Life is not a rehearsal. It's not like what we are doing today. We are simply, rehearsing for another life. It is only one life you're given. You mess it up, you mess it for the good of your life. You will not be given another life. It's not like there will be another time you'll be born like a white man in America. You are like this, and this is the only life you have. You have to do everything. As we go, there will be a conflict on the way. It's a way of conflicts. There will be things coming on your way. But you know what? These things should not take you out of the way, out of the path. It's the word conflict or contention. But you see, as you are learning, see all these things that are coming just against you. It's the journey that you take to go as you go to your destination, and you lose not the picture of where you go. Now, I know we don't have enough time. I wanted to give you another word where it's much clearer in Philippians, of the very same word. Because that now, it's the very same word you find in the scriptures. Oh, let's just study this so that you have a better understanding of what is expected as you journey. Okay? It's the very same word that you find in 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 12. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 12. Look at 1 Timothy chapter. The word is race. Run your race. The word, it says, fight the good fight of faith. Fight the good fight of faith. The word race, the Greek word is the same word fight. So it's to fight. So it is a warfare word. Rest is a fight. I want you to be understanding like that. Rest is a fight. Rest is a fight. If you think everything will be smooth, you are not in the race. Rest is a fight. There will be things that you need to deal with. In 2 Timothy chapter 4, 2 Timothy chapter 4 is much better in verse 7. Very common scripture that you find. The word rest, that word rest, in other places is called a fight. It says, I have fought a good fight. The word fight is the rest. So in Hebrews is called the rest, learning the rest with patience. But in other places it's written as a fight. So if you are on a journey to something, expect there will be wars, things you need to deal with. It's only those that are tough that get to the very end. It's a fight. It says, I have finished my course. The reason why he has finished his course, because he was in a race. And the race is a fight. Because he kept on fighting. That's why he finished his course. So you stop fighting in life, you lose it. You won't finish your course. There will be things that will stand on your way. Coming on your way. And those in Hebrews are called words. What do we do with them? We lay them aside. We don't pick them and pile them on our lives. Because if we keep on piling on them, then we will slow ourselves down, and that's where we end. Go to Philippians chapter 1. Philippians chapter 1. Let me start reading from verse 28. Philippians chapter 1, verse 28. Let's start reading from verse 28. It says, and in nothing, terrified by your what? Adversaries. Do you know adversary? Is